Hi, Thomas. Good to see you. Before we look at the match, there was just a couple of things I wanted to speak to you about, really. First of all, we've seen more instances of players being subjected to abuse on social media. We've seen Mike Dean asked to not officiate in the Premier League this forthcoming weekend after abuse and death threats over a decision he made on the pitch. Obviously, Ivan Toney, you've had a situation there where he's been subjected to racist abuse as well. How did that all affect him at the time? And I suppose, how did you help him deal with it as a manager, as a football club?
First and foremost, Ivan is got a really strong personality, so he deals with that in a good way. That we can't. It's not 100% of the population that are 100% switch on or believe in diversity, and it is what it is, unfortunately, in many ways. Of course, we had a talk about it. I think it's important that we as a club stood right behind him and did everything we could in our official channels, but also behind the scenes with talks. I actually speak with the players, maybe not only in front of with all of them, but we try to embrace every single time when we have some good situations or some bad situations, or we speak one-to-one, because I think it's a massive thing that we make sure that we highlight diversity is a massive thing with everything, not only racism, but every kind of area where we are dividing people. We need to do that better. And on the social media, it's so, honestly, the people who are writing something against death threats or racist or whatever, or being criticizing, it's so easy to sit there behind that. It's cowards, I think. And I think also that social media should do more to how can you delete accounts or to do something like that.
I was going to say, how frustrating is it for you as a manager that you can take the steps that you do to try and protect your players and safeguard them, yet the companies whose platforms are being used to spout this kind of abuse are not taking as strong as action as maybe they could?
I can't imagine anything else that the big companies, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and so on, they must have some serious board meetings and talk about this, because this is if it's COVID-19, number one, then it must be number two. How can you do something to the social media accounts so everyone are not allowed just to write anything about racism, whatever it could be. There must be some serious talks about that.
We'll move on to football, and I'll talk about Ivan for his footballing ability as well now, because since the red card against Luton, he's only failed to score at Swansea. That was his 7th game without a goal. Since then, he's now hit 6 in his last 3. So what's clicked again for him?
No, I think that every striker, even Messi and Ronaldo, or goal scorers in the world, have short spells where they're not scoring goals. But the main thing in life is that you're consistent. You do the same thing day in, day out, or try to improve. He's been doing what you want. He's been leading the line, been a good pressing player, good link-up player, growing more and more into being part of the leaders in the squad. Trained well, showed top attitude, and then we know it will end in the end. And especially some of the games he got to the chances, and then we know it's just a matter of time before he scores. Plus, he's giving assists to crucial points. For example, the header by Simon Goddard against Luton, a beautiful cross from Ivan.
What's it like managing players, and particularly strikers, when they get on this kind of scoring streak?
That's the easy part. That's the easy part, because I haven't met a striker that don't want to score the next goal, no matter if they scored 3, 4, 5, or scored in 5 games in a row. They just want to continue, and and he got a good mentality. I can speak about the last 3 strikers that we are privileged to have had in Brentford. You know, Neil Mopey, Ollie, and Ivan, and all 3 of them top mentality in terms of work ethic and want to improve and get better. And then of course you speak with them. But I you know, scoring or not scoring, I always evaluate the game with the player. So then if they haven't scored, maybe we speak a bit about that. But it's more, are you getting in the right position in the box? Are you the right position for the link up for this game? Or are you still pressing as you should do? So that's the constantly same focus we have every week.
Thomas, can you sum up the importance of this one game as well? Obviously, the chance to go top of the table, so it's significant in terms of the championship title race, but also you can move 9 points clear of your opposition, Reading. The flip side being, of course, they can move to within 3 points of you.
Yeah, I know we talk about these 6 points games and all that, but for me, and I just said, honestly, I just said this to the players before the training today, for me, it's just the next game, an opportunity to win 3 points. That is all for us. The next 3 points ahead of us, and we'll do everything we want to win it. What I do know is that we're playing against a very good side that's done fantastic. I think Jelko Pavlovic have done a top job. It's more or less the same squad they had last year, more or less. I think it's the keeper and Laurent. I think the 2 more or less new signings this summer. So Pavlovic and his staff have done, you know, amazing job. Not only, you know, getting flying into the championship after 1 week of preparation, which is in itself is quite crazy, but also after, when they got that little dip and drop in performance, they just continue. And I think on their day, I think their front 4 in Ajaria, Olise, Shao, and Swift are among the best in this division. So we need really to step up defensively compared to the last games we played, where we've been giving too many chances and too many soft goals away. So we need to be on our absolute highest defensive standards for getting 3 points for this game.
The way you speak about Reading, I'm guessing going back to the first game against them this season, you were surprised to be 3-0 up after, inside half an hour, wasn't it?
I would say no matter who we are playing against in this relentless division, I would be surprised by being up 3-0 after 20 minutes. I trust my team a lot, and I believe a lot in them, but it's a crazy league. So no, we started very, very well and created 3 top goals, you know, well, but just click, and it doesn't always happen like that. And I think also, remember I said after the game, it's impressed me how well Reading stepped up, and also how well they did before and have done after. So we know it's a difficult game we're going into.
Just finally for me then, will you see it as significant if you do hit the top of the table tomorrow night?
I don't think you've won the championship in February. 3 points would be big, and that's what we are going for. But for me, it's just the next 3 points.
Top man, good luck.
Thank you.
Hi, Thomas.
Hi, Ian.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you. And you?
I'm very well. I don't recall Brentford being top of the table at any stage last season. So in terms of going top, if you win at Reading, it is a massive move for you, isn't it?
Yeah. I think another 3 points would be massive, and continuing our good form. I think it's we know where we would like to be when the season ends. This is just another game that I just said before. I expect it's going to be extremely difficult against a team in form. But can we go there and get 3 points? Yes, that would be big, of course.
But at some stage, it stops being just another game, and the pressure starts to ramp up when the prize comes within sight. I know you're only just over halfway through the season, but people are already beginning to say that if there are going to be teams that are going to win this division, it will be Norwich or Brentford or possibly Swansea. There's not many left in the conversation at this early stage.
No, but I think we have 19 games left. I think 19 games. So if it's going to build at a certain stage of the season, it's not now. Definitely not now. But I just know the more points we can get along or going down the path to the end of the season with 19 games to go, week in, week out, the better. I honestly, I just see that as the next game in line against a very good opponent.
A ridiculously good run of 20 games unbeaten. Have you ever been involved with a team that has gone this long without losing a game of football?
No, never. I tried a few times, also I think with Brentford, was it, I can't remember what it was last year. Was it 10 games or 10 games unbeaten? And the year before, 10 games unbeaten. In Brentford, it was 9-10 games, something similar. So no, this is crazy. And also, 20 games in any of the top 5 leagues or any league, it's and especially in a league like the Championship that are so competitive and so even. I understand some of the bigger clubs like Bayern Munich and these guys, they do it because they're just superior to anyone. But this is crazy. So I'm very proud of the team. But we need to continue.
And without being, I'm not trying to make you sound cocky. Do your team have now not a feeling of invincibility, but if someone's going to beat them, either they're going to have to be really poor, or they're going to be the other team going to have to be really special?
No, I definitely have nothing about. I sense no arrogance, and I sense nothing in terms of that. Of course, it would be very strange. I'll also be a little bit worried if my team didn't gain a lot of confidence of this run of games and the way we played. So they should get that confidence. But I just said honestly today to the players that the difference between being very confident and being arrogant slash complacent is the ability to continue work hard, to keep an unbelievable focus. What is just in front of you today, and then to tomorrow, and then the third word I forgot now. Hard work, focus, and desire. That was the thing, and a big desire, where it gets tough, or where you continue, or so if you can keep that hard work, keep that hunger and desire, and then that extreme focus, what is in front of you, then I think, and then you use that confident grade, then you can create something unique.
Well, surely they only have to look at their manager. I've just seen that in all those traits in you.
Maybe, I don't know. I think I'm blessed with good people around me.
I want to finally finish by just talking a little bit more about Ivan Toney. I saw Scott Hogan last weekend, and we were saying it's gone from Andre Gay, Scott Hogan, to Neil Maupay, to Ollie Watkins, to now Ivan Toney. Every season, Brentford have a top striker who bangs the goals in, gets sold, and is replaced. And it's insane again how that seems to have just continued. I mean, Ivan has now got over 20 goals already for the season. Yeah,
I think of course we like that story about 5 good strikers, and I no disrespect to anyone, but I especially think the last 3 they just edged it even more, and also the 3 I know the best, so it's easier for me to speak about them. But that is remarkable. It's not, and because you don't snap your finger and say, oh, you know what, I think we should find a striker next year that will score 25 goals in the Championship. Oh, perfect, we do that. That demands a lot of work and a lot of time, and try to nail it down to find a striker we think suit the way we play and suit our culture. And then, of course, you need to have some fantastic sports directors that can negotiate it and find to the right price. But it's not like we can just put and pay a ridiculous amount of money. And after that, we still need to develop them and get them on board and push them. And then we're doing that on 3 consecutive seasons is actually remarkable.
So everything basically at Brentford right now is remarkable. The run, Ivan Toney, just everything.
yeah. But like me, if we lose tomorrow, it'll be, are they starting to shaking up? Are they crumbling? Are they, so Until today, it's very nice, but we know we need to be ready for tomorrow and the day after and the day after. But I think we are relatively calm and focused and are enjoying the moment.
Brilliant. Great to see you. See you tomorrow night.
Thank you. Thank you. See you.
See you tomorrow.
Hey, Thomas.
Hi, Phil.
Good to see you. Looking well. Just in regards to the unbeaten run, how important is it to focus, as you said, on the 3 points available in the next game, rather than for the squad to fixate on the fact that you don't want this unbeaten run to end?
Yeah, I think it's a very good point. It's very so much more easy said than done, because I think can you focus on the positive and what you can achieve instead of what you are trying to avoid. That's by far the best psychological approach in any elite sport or any aspect of life. But I think we're all human. It's also coming into my mind, oh, I'm going to lose tomorrow. You need to enter at a certain stage, but you need to take it away, focus on what you can do, prepare well for the game, do the same day in, day out, adjust a bit, and then again keep that immense focus on today and then tomorrow. I think that's so important. And all that with the table. Of course, I know, I'm aware that we are in second position, and also I'm aware if we win, we can go first. But it's about using as little time as possible to look at that table. It doesn't matter anything where we are now, which where we want to be in the end of the season. Of course, it's logical. The higher we are, the better. But big focus on the next game is 3 points, no matter what that win will give us in the table. And then when we win Wednesday, hopefully, then it's the next game that is the most important thing. And I think that's the big praise to the players to live now and not tomorrow.
And obviously, there's always focus when there's lots of goals scored on those who are scoring the goals. But how much are you pleased about the creative process in creating those chances? The players who are actually behind the goals, if you see what I mean, not the actual person that puts it in the net, but those that work as a team to create those opportunities to score.
Yeah, of course, there's always the how can I say, frontman Ivan gets a lot of praise, well-deserved praise, with a lot of goals. And then, of course, there's the player who makes the clear assist, for example, to Rick Fosso. Unbelievable, unselfish assist for the first goal against Middlesbrough. Top composure. But also, I think another player that I think Mathias Jensen has been incredible this season. And some of the balls he's playing and the vision he got about the game is so big. So he maybe is not getting as many assists as he should, but he have a lot of second assists or assists before the assist, and also just get the team ticking. And the players know when he's on the ball, something happens. Then we have Justice Silva that make maybe more clear assists, but we also know that something different happens in a 1v1 situation. So there's a lot of players that make this team able to be in a good place. And I think we're very flexible. I think we're difficult to control, if that makes sense, on our day.
And the addition of bench a couple of times now, you talked about from the defensive point of view, someone like Mads Bech Sorensen developing his career. How much benefit will he get from having Winston in the building as well as some of the other experienced players, but just his sort of experience, his knowledge, the learning process that someone like Mads can get from playing alongside Winston Reid?
I think that's there's no doubt, the small bits, and I think Mads Bech is a top example, and I think he's a player we are very proud of having in Brentford, in terms of also he came to the B team, went through the progress of the B team of 1 to 2 years. I think, I can't remember if it was 1 or 2 years now. Got promoted into the first team, waited for his chance, got a few games, got a loan half a year at Wimbledon, came back, And now also because of injury, but that's football, then he just stepped in and played a lot of games and done remarkable. But he, of course, needs to learn exact that experience. There was a beautiful picture after which game was it? Bristol? I think maybe the Bristol game, where Winston instantly after the final whistle just go to Mats and they speak, and he's talking about, if you're, I don't know exactly right now, I'm just finding out, so just saying something, okay, but maybe something about your job body position. Oh, when the ball goes there, maybe drop off a bit before. So those small interactions between the players are remarkable. And I spoke, this has been the same with Henrik Dalsgaard. I spoke with Henrik after the game, always evaluate the players, one-to-one. And then he said, Mats is doing fantastic, but maybe on the physical strikers, maybe not battle that much, be close. And then have you, I guess that Brian, because Brian is in charge of the most defensive part of it, that he speaks to him, say, yeah, I think he will. But I think it's also important that you do that. Because the more times you hear it, the better, and maybe you have a different detail that he hasn't heard.
And finally, for me, I mean, this is a very busy schedule, but the sort of things are, Reading away, Barnsley home, QPR away. I know the Coventry trip, but then a couple of home games. The schedule is, despite the fact you're playing a lot of games, there's not a huge amount of travelling through February. Is that something that puts a little smile on your face?
So say again the last bit. There's a lot of games. I didn't hear the last bit.
There's a lot of games, but the travelling isn't as bad as it could be. Is that something that's positive from your point of view with this, games coming so often? Yeah,
there's no doubt that of course travelling is just a factor over time that can add up in terms of tiredness, but also a factor that we know it is what it is. We need to cope with it. But do you ask me if I want to play at home or away? Yes, home. And if I want to play, just go down the road to Reading or up north to Middlesbrough, I prefer just to go down the road to Reading. So, of course, in the tight schedule right now, it's fine. But over a season, it will be the same.
Brilliant. Best of luck tomorrow, Thomas. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.